Hey everyone, it's Mike here from the SEO Pub. I'm going to do a couple videos about indexing and how you can leverage your footer to help index important pages and help the overall indexing of your website. Before I dive into that, I want to remind everyone to head over to theseopub.com. Sign up for the email list there if you haven't already. I send out tips like this once a week straight to your inbox. So indexing has become a much hotter topic in the past 2 years, maybe 3 years. It definitely seems like Google has it's been a little more challenging to get pages indexed in Google search. At least it's not as easy as it used to be. Indexing, honestly, 3, 4, 5 years ago wasn't even really something I thought about too much because it was just never an issue. Any page I created on a site, I was able to get indexed without any trouble. But it is becoming harder as the internet gets bigger. It would seem that Google is getting a little more selective in what they choose to index, and for good reason. It takes up a ton of storage space for them and a ton of resources to index every single page they come across. So it does seem like they are making some decisions about what they index and what they don't index. And one thing that can really help you if you're having trouble getting pages indexed, something that I think gets overlooked a lot, is actually leveraging your footer and creating links in your footer. And I know footer links, we can debate how strong they are all day long. I don't think they're very strong links as far as transferring link equity and page rank, anchor relevance, any kind of ranking signals. They're not very strong in that regard. Generally, links closer to the top of the page within content will be stronger than links at the end of the page. However, I do think you can leverage links in your footer for helping indexing. If you think about it from the point of view of a search engine, if you're linking to a page from every other page on your website, it does give a signal that, hey, maybe that page is important. Maybe it's something that we should index. And you can see it all the time with big companies. I've gone through before how the New York Times uses their footer to index a bunch of pages. I've used this example before with PC Insurance. And we'll talk about these in the next video a little bit more about how they use their footer to, if you have a mass quantity of pages that you want to get indexed, there's some ideas you can take from these pages, from these websites, to help with that. And it's something that with the push of AI content, a lot of people are generating massive amounts of content but having trouble getting it indexed. I'm working on some projects where we've put out 500, 1,000, 2,000 pages, and we're having zero problems with indexing. And I think some of the strategies I'm going to share in the next videos is the reason why. But I can't remember the last time I came across a footer and found a page that was internally linked to in the footer that wasn't indexed. So it definitely helps when every page on the site is linking to a page. It's more likely that search engines are going to crawl that page. If they see that every page is linking to it, it's more likely that they're going to index the page. And there's a lot of websites out there that use this to their advantage. Sometimes you have pages that maybe you don't really want to put in the navigation. They don't really fit as like a blog post or primary sales page, but you still want them indexed. They still are important to your business. Uproad's another site that I've shared before, some of the interesting things they do in their footer. But you can see one thing that they do. I've talked about how they use this all toll points to index a bunch of, they're a app for paying tolls on the road, and they use this to index a bunch of pages for all those different tolls. But what they do is, like here, they have a couple pages that are important to them: how to calculate tolls, how to pay for missed toll roads in California. These pages are important to them, and it's important for them to get them indexed, but they're not necessarily something that they're going to put up here in their navigation. They aren't really going to fit, somewhere else here on the home page or really on many other pages. So they put them in the footer, which helps to get them crawled and get them indexed. Two other examples that are doing kind of the same thing. Really popular apps, ClickUp. ClickUp, of course, is a project management tool. And one thing that a lot of SaaS companies like to do is have these compare pages. So they create these pages with all their competitors, their primary competitors, and they have ClickUp versus Monday, ClickUp versus Asana, ClickUp versus Jira, Trello, all these different competitors. Again, this is not something that you would put in your navigation here. You're not going to put these pages there, but you do want them crawled. You do want to rank for them. They are still important pages. Anybody who's searching for ClickUp versus Monday, you want them, if you're ClickUp, to come to your page. So they put them down here in the footer where they can easily be crawled and get indexed. And they have their Monday versus ClickUp page and Airtable and Notion and all these other ones down here. Notion does the exact same thing. Again, these are not pages that you necessarily are going to put somewhere prominent in your navigation, but they are important to your business. And they have these switch ones. So if you're switching from Asana to Notion, they have that. They also have compare versus Monday, compare versus ClickUp. They don't have quite as many compare pages, but they still have them here. And they put them in the footer. So they're linked to from just about every single page. I think Notion changes their footer slightly on a couple different sections of their site, but they're linked to from all their primary pages. And that signals to search engines that these pages are important. We should probably index these. And it makes them really easy to get crawled. It's something that you can emulate with your site. If you have pages that are important to you, but aren't necessarily fitting with other areas of your website, you can stick them in the footer to get them crawled and make sure that they get indexed. You can also do this with content, like on blog. A lot of websites will create a recent posts section in the footer, and that won't necessarily keep things indexed. You want to have a good internal link structure to those posts, but it does help to get them indexed faster, I think, when you have that, because when your site's getting crawled, the footer's going to get crawled no matter what page the spider comes to, and it's going to see that those recent posts and most likely follow the link and crawl those and possibly index those also. So you can use it to get content indexed a little faster sometimes by having like a recent posts widget. But any pages like that are important and you want to get indexed, don't overlook your footer. I think a lot of people overlook footers, and the only links that they throw down there are, about us, privacy page, terms of service, kind of like the legal and boring sort of pages. I think it's a lost opportunity for a lot of businesses to not put more prominent pages in the footer to help get them crawled, get them indexed, and keep them indexed. So in the next video, we'll go over some deeper examples on how you can use footers and combine them with HTML sitemaps to index large amounts of content. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss that one. And again, make sure you head over to the SEOpub.com, sign up for the email list there, and we'll catch you in the next video.